Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new Android TV box review. For today we have a new one from Matricom and this one is called the Q3 and I believe it's gonna cost somewhere around $100. Now as a small disclaimer, this is a pre-released unit, so the software may change on it by the time it becomes available. For those of you that don't know what a TV box is, well, this is basically an Android device that connects to your TV and all of a sudden your TV becomes kind of like a smartphone but with a very big screen. So what can you do with a TV box? Well, you can watch movies, you can check your email, you can play games, you can watch YouTube videos, you can basically do everything that you do with your smartphone, but just that you're doing it on a very big screen. For specifications, we have the Amlogis S905X, this is a quad-core CPU. We also have 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of internal storage. Out of that 16 gigs of internal storage, we have about 11 gigs left, but luckily the TV box has a slot for an SD card, so you can always install an SD card as internal storage. The Q3 comes in a rather large box, and inside that box we are going to find the device itself. We are also going to find the user manual. However, the user manual doesn't have that much information. We have a power adapter, and this is the same power adapter we've seen in the past. There is also an HDMI cable and the remote control. The remote control, it's not the greatest out there, but that's quite normal for pretty much all TV boxes these days, and I do recommend using a wireless keyboard and mouse because you're going to have a much better experience with this TV box. Just like the previous model, the Q2, this one it's made out of plastic entirely, and on the top there we have a G that lights up blue, and you can actually turn off that LED from the software. On the back you're gonna find the only 2 USB ports. You also have the HDMI port, the network adapter port, AV out, optical out, and lastly the port for the power adapter. I've tried DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound with Kodi 17.4 and unfortunately only Dolby Digital sound works, so I was not able to get DTS going on this device no matter what I did. Moving on to some benchmark results, so I had the Antutu benchmark, the Geekbench 4 and the iStorm Extreme going, and basically the scores that we got on this device are about the same with other TV boxes that had the Amlogis S905X in the past. Connectivity wise, this device has Bluetooth and I did try it out and it works good, and we're supposed to get dual band Wi-Fi. However, I can only connect and see 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi bands. So this time I'm gonna say that there is no dual band connectivity on this device, and the speeds that I got over a wired connection over the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi bands were appropriate and normal for a TV box. And since Miracast is related to the Wi-Fi connectivity, of course I checked out Miracast and I was able to connect my Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus to this TV box, and I was able to check out pictures, videos and so on, and it did seem to work good. For those of you that are interested, this comes with root access from the factory, and I've also checked the digital rights management information, and as I was expecting, Netflix is not gonna work in HD. I mean, you can install Netflix and you can play Netflix, but it's only gonna work in 480p. For other online streaming apps, I tried a YouTube app that comes pre-installed on the Q3, and it does seem to work good at a maximum resolution of 1080p, so not 1080p at 60 frames per second. And this could be different depending on the TV that you have connected, but my TV only supports 1080p, so I can't really say if this would work at a higher resolution, but I highly doubt it. This also comes pre-installed with Kodi 17.4, and you can actually get updates for Kodi right from the Google Play Store, and that's a plus because this way you don't have to look for updates. Now, there are no add-ons that come pre-installed, and this is quite normal these days. However, if you do install any add-ons, they do work very good and without any issues. I've also checked out the Google Play Store because in the past we've seen a lot of TV boxes where the Google Play Store doesn't actually work, but that's not the case with this TV box, and the Google Play Store does work very good and you can search and install basically any app available. Even though the Amlogis S905X is not the most powerful CPU out there, you're still gonna be able to play a whole bunch of games that are available in the Google Play Store. And I actually played 2 games on this TV box, and for one of them I had a Bluetooth controller connected, but I'm gonna let you guys watch for a bit and see how the game did. Now that we have a better idea about this TV box's performance, I want to start recording the screen. I want to show you how the launcher looks, I want to show you how the settings app looks, and I want to check out some video files and see what video files do good and what video files don't do good on this device. First things first, the launcher. So I can't say that the launcher looks bad because it doesn't. It looks a bit different than what we've seen in the past, but it's not very customizable, so you can't really change that much around here. I mean, you can change these icons at the bottom here, but that's pretty much all that you can do. And on top of that, we don't have the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen or the notification tab on top of the screen. So you're very limited by this launcher. The quick settings app, it's also somewhat limited. Here at Wi-Fi settings we can connect to the Wi-Fi. Here we can search for Bluetooth devices. The display settings, once again, we don't have that many options, and we can't even change the screen resolution, which is quite annoying. We don't have any settings for sound if you look anywhere, so you're gonna see that you can't actually change the pass-through sound no matter where you go. And if we click on advanced settings, we basically go to the settings app for Android. As you notice, this is the standard settings app for Android 6.0.1, but if you actually check the description for this device, it says that it's gonna come pre-installed with Android 7.1. So I'm not sure what's happening here, but we definitely have Android 6 right here. And as I said earlier, we can't even change the sound output. So if I click here and I click on another other sounds here, this is basically all we get. So really not that much that you can do here, very limited. And lastly, we're gonna check out some video files, and I'm gonna start with this one right here. We'll just skip through it and see how well it does. Remember that I said that you're not gonna be able to get DTS going on this device. So we'll skip forward just so you can see how well it does. And most files do okay, I have to say, but the sound, the fact that we can get DTS is quite unfortunate. So we'll move to the second file. This is the second file here. So if you give it a couple of seconds, it's getting better. At the beginning, it kind of skips a frame or two, I've noticed on most files, but after the first couple of seconds, it does seem to work good. So we'll stop this one, we'll move to a 4K file at 59 frames per second. So let's see how well this one does. So definitely dark, it's very dark. In my opinion, I mean, I've seen this many times, and I've seen it much brighter than this. It goes fairly smooth, but very dark, unfortunately. So we'll stop this one and we'll move to the next file. The next file, it's another 4K file at 50 frames per second. So this one is not as dark as the previous one, and as you can see, it does seem to go okay. We'll skip to the middle here, and once again, it works good. We'll stop this one and move to a 720p file. Let's just skip all the way to the middle here. And this one does good too, but maybe a bit darker than normal, if you ask me. So we'll stop this one as well. Let's try this file here, and I'm gonna skip all the way to the end. And once again, a bit darker than usual, but it does seem to work good. So we'll stop this one and move to another file. And this is a 4K file that I recorded with my phone some time ago. And this one does good as well. So we'll stop this one and we'll move to the next one. And the next one is gonna be this one here. And once again, I'll skip forward. And it does seem to work good as well, but yet again a bit darker than we are used to. So let's see what else we have here. We have this file here, and let's play from the beginning. And this one seems to do good as well. So all the files did okay, but they are somewhat dark, and there is no way of actually changing anything from the settings app. And it's time to conclude this video. So for the price, I was actually expecting a much more powerful CPU like the Amlogis S912 and better software optimization. But let's keep in mind that this is a pre-released unit, so the software may change by the time this actually makes it onto the market. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.